Broadcasting down in the bayou, it's Mark Out Mania, a podcast featuring two average Joe wrestling fans talking about the business they love and so much more. And now, here's Ryan Keith and Patrick Fry.
And welcome to episode 20 of Mark Out Mania. Patrick, what's up, man?
Not too much, man. What's up with you, man? You had a little food poisoning last week, man. Had to miss the show. I've had food poisoning before, and you believe it was some sushi, and I've actually gotten food poisoning from sushi before, so I know you were not feeling well, so, you know, and we talked about maybe me coming in and do the thing solo, but I was like, no, I'm not good with doing things solo, so I got to have you here so that way we can bounce off each other because I feel the show's much better. But how you feeling? You feeling any better?
Hey, every day it's a journey, but I tell you what, that was a ride, man. That was a ride straight from Hades.
And you're still you're not quite 100%, but you're definitely a lot better than you were last week.
Yeah, overdid it a little bit for lunch today, so I was regretting life for about 3 hours.
Well, we got a big show today. A lot happened, obviously, in the world of wrestling this past week. Mark Out Mania, episode 20 for March 24th, 2018. We're going to talk, of course, Daniel Bryan. He is back. He's been cleared to wrestle. We'll talk about maybe possible WrestleMania plans and the testing he will also have to receive after each match. Also, the rematch, Sami Callihan versus Eddie Edwards. We will talk about that coming up at WrestleCon next month. Zack Sabre Jr. won the New Japan Cup, and he made a challenge, and we'll talk about that as well. Also, big New Japan show this tomorrow night in Long Beach, California. It is Strong Style Evolved, a big card there. We're going to go over that card. Also, some news and notes to go over, some injured superstars coming back, and a feud that we're going to have post-WrestleMania. Like I said, a lot to talk over. We're also going to go over the updated WrestleMania card. A lot of matches have been added in the past 2 weeks that we've been off. Also, Mark Henry inducted into the Hall of Fame, and then Edge and Christian will induct the Dudley Boyz into the Hall of Fame. Also could see the Hardy Boyz up there with them as well. We're also going to talk the Ultimate Deletion match, which was the main event of Raw this past week. A lot of mixed reactions from that match. And then we're also going to dive into the rumor mill. WWE in talks with a legend. So we're going to dive into that to end the show.
You can find us on the web at MarkOutMania.com. Of course, all our social media, everywhere you can listen to the podcast, Spreaker, iTunes, iHeart, Amazon Alexa, the list goes on and on. Find us, listen to us. Also, if you want to start watching us live, we were going to do it the week before, but then I fell ill. It sounds really professional, by the way, fell ill. But we're going to start next week. Of course, we got Ryan Bowman with us coming in from the Miami Herald. But we're going to, and he's going to be on Skype. He's not actually going to be here. But we're going to be broadcasting live with a live stream on our Patreon page. And, of course, starting out as little as $1 a month, you can listen to it live and uncut on our Discord, as well as with the $5 plan a month, you get exclusive audio and video, which there's tons of stuff up there already that's archived, but every week you'll be able to see that live stream if you're on the $5 plan a month.
And that show's going to be a week from today on March 31st, correct?
Yes.
So, and what time is that going to be? So that way everybody kind of has an idea as to when, if they want to watch us live, what time is
That's
it going to be?
That's going to be 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Saturday, March 31st.
Yeah.
We will be live in here recording the show with Ryan K. Bowman from, what is it? GorillaPosition.com.
Yeah,
That's
GorillaPosition.com.
GorillaPosition.com. All right, so we're going to dive into, you got anything else you want to?
No.
We're going to dive into, obviously, the hottest topic in pro wrestling right now. It may have been the hottest topic of all time in pro wrestling, at least on Reddit, because I was telling you before we went on the air, every week, I look on Reddit. There is the Squared Circle subreddit, which is, the top subreddit for wrestling on Reddit, and the most upvoted post of all time on the Squared Circle subreddit was when Real WWE is the username for on Reddit. They announced, obviously, Daniel Bryan is now cleared to wrestle again after 2 years of not being to wrestle. Of course, he announced his retirement back, I think, in February of 2016. 771 days later, and yes, that is an exact number, 771 days later, on SmackDown this past Tuesday, he announced to the world that he can now wrestle again. Now, of course, it comes with, some, stipulations, you could say. He's going to need to receive impact testing after every single match, and rightfully so, because obviously with his history of concussions and whatnot, you want to be extra careful with Daniel Bryan because, you have this lawsuit with all the concussion or people that suffered from CTE, all this other stuff that's going on with WWE, and you want to be very careful with Daniel Bryan, but at the end of the day, you got to be excited because the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan, is going to be back in a WWE ring. And, of course, we've been talking about this ever since before the Royal Rumble. We've been, talking about rumor mill. Will Daniel Bryan come back? Will he be at the Royal Rumble? Will he be at WrestleMania? We still don't know for sure if he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania. We like to believe he will be based on what happened Tuesday night. But, Daniel Bryan's back.
Yeah, and there's no question he's one of the most over superstars that WWE has ever had. And the fact that he's back is a little scary to me because I was the proponent of saying I wouldn't let him wrestle in one of my rings. Hearing that this guy was hiding seizures, from the medical crew. So, and to be Bree, you got to be scared as well because you've seen it. You've had to hide it. Of course, he's going to do what he wants to do, and I think that's WWE kind of had their hands tied to the fact that he was going to go wrestle somewhere, so he might as well wrestle with us so that we can make money off of him because he's going to go be a superstar somewhere else, and they're going to make tons of money off of this dude on merchandising, on pay-per-view sales, on everything. So, he kind of almost had like a gun to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in a way. But... And I think that's part of the reason why they brought him back as general manager. Obviously, he's still under contract with WWE, but at the time he could not wrestle. So next best thing, well, hey, let's bring him back as SmackDown general manager. And even then, you can tell every week he comes out, he's still more over as a general manager than most of the superstars, if not all the superstars on the roster. And you hit it right on the head when he's been one of the most over superstars maybe ever. He's probably the most over superstar since maybe a John Cena, since maybe The Rock, since maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's some good company right there to be in. And not only that, but the dude can wrestle. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there that don't like the way he wrestles. The dude is one of the best wrestlers in the world, and he's going, hopefully, we're going to talk about his WrestleMania plans. Right now, I think the assumption is that it's going to be Shane and Daniel versus Sami and Kevin Owens. And let me tell you what, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Daniel Bryan, just themselves, talk about tremendous wrestlers. And I tell you what, Shane McMahon certainly improved. He's obviously not one of the greatest professional wrestlers ever, but of course he had the match with AJ Styles at WrestleMania last year and looked really, really good. Now, granted, AJ Styles can make me and you look good in the ring.
Yeah, he's had some great matches with The Rock as well.
Absolutely, and I think that could be a really fun match. It's not official yet, but we're of the assumption that that's going to be the plan at WrestleMania. There's always also been some talk, maybe a Daniel versus Shane. I'd be okay with that. I remember Brink telling me he'd rather see the tag match, Daniel and Shane versus Sami and Kevin. And based on what happened last week on SmackDown after Daniel fired Sami and Kevin, that is what looks like it's going to happen. So obviously SmackDown next week will be more must-watch TV because now the hottest storyline on SmackDown now is Daniel Bryan. He's back. How's he going to fit into WrestleMania? And what's going to happen with him, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn, and Shane McMahon? Because that storyline really dates back about 7 months. And, of course, you have Shinsuke and AJ for the WWE title. You almost don't even need a storyline there because those two guys, look, if I'm Vince or, whoever's booking these matches at WrestleMania, I'm telling these two cats, all right, you have 40 minutes. Go out there, do your thing. Because I tell you what, that right there, that should be the match of the night at WrestleMania. If I don't know, and I'm hoping that they just let them loose in the ring because I know WWE has certain restrictions on what wrestlers can do in the ring, and hopefully they just throw that out the window when AJ and Nakamura get in that ring because they are going to produce magic. That match should be last. Unfortunately, it probably won't be. But I tell you what, I would not want to follow those two cats at WrestleMania. That's going to be a really fun match.
Yeah, and we were talking a little bit off the air about AJ's style, and not AJ, about Daniel's style, and you alluded to it a second ago. He brings that Japan style in there that has little regard for his body, and he's flailing himself around. And you said when he did those drop kicks on Sami and KO that, he was throwing his head on the mat and stuff like that. So, man, I really hope this guy can keep it up. But at the same time, man, Daniel, come on, man.
Yeah.
You gotta find like a little compromise in your style here and wrestle a little safer.
Yeah, Daniel. We obviously want to see the longevity of Daniel Bryan's career, and unfortunately, due to injuries, he's had to been stripped of titles. I think twice he had to get stripped of the WWE World Heavyweight title after WrestleMania 30, and then he had to get stripped of the Intercontinental title after WrestleMania 31. So, and that's Finn Balor. Obviously, getting stripped of titles because of injuries not fun, and
it can ruin your run.
And obviously, Finn Balor never really recovered. Although, he's still a great wrestler, obviously, and he's still very much over. But he has not been in the WWE Universal title picture since then. Hopefully, I would love to see. And we're going to dive into this a little bit later on the post-WrestleMania plans for the Universal title. I would love to see not AJ. Once again, we're thinking about AJ Styles here. I would love to see Finn Balor in the plans for the Universal title, maybe going over the summer into a SummerSlam or something like that. But as far as Daniel Bryan goes, he's back. He's been cleared. We're of the belief he will wrestle at WrestleMania. It has not been made official yet, but we're of the assumption that it's going to be Daniel and Shane versus Sami and Kevin Owens. Anything else you could see possibly happening at WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan?
No, I think it's pretty much written in stone. However, I would like to say that segment of Miz TV where the Miz brought up Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, and dude, like when they put the boots to Miz, and then Finn was up on the ropes and like he did like his little thing where he was like screaming and stuff like that. No homo. That dude is like chiseled out of stone.
Oh, yeah.
That dude has a great body.
Who, Finn? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the abs on Finn, man, that's like washboard abs right there. There's a girl on social media that I follow. She's a big wrestling fan. And some wrestling fans may follow her on Twitter, but let's just say she gets very, very excited. And she may be joking. I think she's joking, but I would not be surprised if a girl would get that excited when Finn Balor comes out, because, no homo.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking dude, man. He's got a great body.
He's Irish.
Hey, look, if I was a homosexual, I would probably be into a guy like Finn Balor. Just saying, no homo though out there. I'm straight as it can be. So, with that being said, let's dive into our next topic. It is the rematch, probably of the year so far, or at least maybe the most talked about rematch. Yeah. It's going to be Sami Callihan versus Eddie Edwards at WrestleCon, April the 6th in New Orleans. What a weekend that's going to be, April 6th through the 8th, WrestleMania weekend. That's going to be the same night as the WWE Hall of Fame. Obviously, for those of you who've been living under a rock all 2018 thus far, Sami Callihan is the one that took a bat to Eddie Edwards' eye and completely messed him up. There's been some debate on whether it was intentional, non-intentional. I think me and you both agreed, Ryan, that it was not intentional. It was just, it happens in the ring sometimes that some people mess up. Hell, there was it kind of brings me back to, it was in the mid-2000s somewhere. It was a ladder match, and I think Joey Mercury got his nose broken by a ladder in a match, and it was, blood pouring out of his nose, like a river. I don't know if
I've seen that happen before in real life. That is crazy. Yeah, some dude got socked in high school and it looked like somebody was just pouring like a thing of Kool-Aid out of his nose.
Yeah, and that's basically what happened with Eddie Edwards and Sami Callihan when Callihan took the bat to him. So now you have the rematch. Obviously, Eddie Edwards is going to get his receipt.
He better.
And you're thinking it's going to have something to do with the baseball bat, right?
I would have to say maybe the same bat.
That's interesting.
Yeah, like you get his bat somehow and then do a little damage.
Do you think he gets a piece of Sammy's face?
No, I don't think so. Because then I think that makes him look really bad if he does that. But people will understand if he goes a little shoot on him and on his leg or maybe his ribs or something.
If you're booking this match and you're telling Eddie Edwards where to stick that bat to him, what
no, I'm not telling him anything. I'm just saying look, man, I know you got to get your receipt. Just make sure you're taking care of this guy.
Don't hit him in the face.
And then I'm telling Sami, this receipt's coming, dude.
So, get ready for it.
Get ready for it.
So that's going to be definitely something interesting to watch out for at WrestleCon that night, April 6th. I don't know if that match is going to be televised in any shape or form.
Man, I would hope so. Maybe Fight TV or something like that. Or I know Impact has their own pay-per-view network like WWE, so it'll probably be on there. But that's going to be a great show because it's them and it's Lucha Underground as well. They're doing like a co-event. And, of course, you're going to have people that are already hyped up for WrestleMania that weekend in New Orleans, it should draw a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, and it's going to obviously compete with the WWE Hall of Fame that night, April the 6th, which that has become a huge event. And the names, obviously, this year, Goldberg, Mark Henry, Ivory, the Dudley Boys, and I think there's a couple of more that
some old timers,
that are slipping my mind right now. But that's going to be another great show. I'm looking forward to that. I don't think I'll get to watch that live, but it's going to be on the network. I can watch it maybe that Saturday or that Sunday morning, just to kind of get me a little hyped up for WrestleMania. So, anything else you want to add to Sami Callihan, Eddie Edwards rematch happening?
No, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope they do it well because this has been one of the hottest takes in wrestling, and it's from an organization that can barely even pay their employees. So I hope they can springboard something off of it because I'll be honest with you, I've always been a fan of Impact. Since the Jeff Jarrett days when him and his father started it, and it was TNA, always been a fan, and I would really like to see them succeed. I think they're too far in debt to crawl out of this hole. Where it goes from here, I don't know, but hopefully it does something for Eddie Edwards' career. Like I said before, Sami Callihan, you've proven to be unsafe. You're going to have to prove yourself in the ring to a lot of people, and that's not just an armchair quarterback sitting here in a podcast saying it. That's a whole bunch of the boys on Twitter saying it too. And so you're going to have to work this match with grace, and when you catch your receipt, you're just going to have to take it like a man and just keep working.
And take your receipt, and after that, y'all can move on from it. It's basically going to be history after that.
Yep.
And, move on. Basically move on after that. So that's going down WrestleCon April 6th in New Orleans. Moving on now to New Japan. Some New Japan news. The New Japan Cup. The winner, Zack Sabre Jr., wins the New Japan Cup, and he has now challenged Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title on April the 1st at Sakura Genesis. I think I said that right. So looking forward to that. I don't know if that match has been made official. I'm going to have to look into that. But I'm pretty sure that match is going to happen. Usually when they make a challenge like that, it's going to happen. So with that being said, that's in a couple of weeks. Tomorrow night, March 25th, Strong Style Evolved, which will take place in Long Beach, California. New Japan making
LBC.
New Japan making their rare trip, so to speak, I guess you could say. Only a few times a year they come over to this side of the pond. But they're going to be in Long Beach, California at the Long Beach Walter Pyramid. And here's the match card. It starts at 7 o'clock, I think, Central Time tomorrow night. Maybe, I'm not sure. I know Brink and the Cruz and them, they're going to be watching it tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll be able to make it out there, but I'll definitely be keeping an eye on this because look at this. This card is amazing. This was the card that it was supposed to be Liger versus Mysterio, and unfortunately, Mysterio, I think, had that injury. I don't know if that injury is the reason he had to pull out that bicep injury.
Yeah, it had to be if he tore in his bicep.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, that's going to take a while to heal.
So that's unfortunate. Even though they're both, at the tail ends of their career, it would have been really nice to see those two guys go at it. But here's the match card. The first match, 6-man tag, Yo Show, Rocky Romero versus Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, and the Fallen Angel, Christopher Daniels. It's been a while since I went over a New Japan card. Let's see if I get all these names somewhat right.
Got this, bro.
Second match, tag team match, David Finlay and Juice Robinson taking on Guido, I guess, and Goto, not Goto, but it's with a T. The third match, another tag team match, Chucky T and Toru Yano taking on Davey Boy Smith Jr. and Lance Archer. The fourth match is Tangaloa and Tama Tonga taking on Marty Scurll and Cody. The fifth match, an 8-man tag match, Dragon Lee, Taguchi, Kushida, and Tanahashi taking on Takahashi, Bushi, Sanada, and Naito. So that'll be a fun match there.
So that was Bullet Club versus Bullet Club?
No.
What was the Cody Scroll match?
Cody and Marty Scurll versus Tanga Loa and Tama Tonga.
Are those dudes like the Samoans that are in the Bullet Club?
That's a good question. Well, the Bullet Club's apparently falling apart right now.
No, the Bullet Club's fine.
Oh, the Bullet Club's fine? Oh, okay. Well, see,
that's what Cody says.
Well, I've been watching a little more WWE lately with WrestleMania season happening. I haven't really been keeping up. Brink would know, but
no, the Bullet Club is not fine.
So I guess that's a Bullet Club. I know, Marty Scurll, Cody, obviously in the Bullet Club. I can't remember all of the people in the Bullet Club off the top of my head right now, but that is the match.
We need you remember how Batman had the red phone, like Commissioner Gordon would call him with the red phone?
Yeah,
you may be too young for that. We'll have the Brink phone.
Yeah, we need the Brink phone for that. So, so he'll be able to give us that. And for most wrestling fans that know New Japan, they know what's going on here. And unfortunately, for those who don't know, we can't really tell you because we don't know ourselves. But we're just two average Joes doing a wrestling podcast here.
That's what it says in the front.
So continuing on the match card here for Strong Style Evolved tomorrow night, Jushin Thunder Liger will take on Will Ospreay in a singles match. That's a 30-minute time limit there.
It's going to be awesome.
The next match will be another tag team match. Ishii and Okada taking on Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. Then the IWGP U.S. Heavyweight Championship will be on the line. Jay White will be defending against Hangman Page. And the final match, the main event, Ibushi and Omega will be taking on the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. So going to be a great show, obviously. A great New Japan show coming to Long Beach tomorrow night.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with some of these feuds going forward. I don't know when the next New Japan show is. I don't have that written right in front of me. But, of course, obviously, we'll keep up to date on that and keep you guys updated on what's happening. Next week, we'll go over the results for Strong Style Evolve because it's a big show happening in Long Beach tomorrow night.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting because the Young Bucks have been pretty neutral. They haven't said, hey, we're Team Cody or we're Team Omega, right? They've been kind of neutral. They've talked to Omega and said, hey, we were here with you since day one, man. We've always had your back. So that's going to be interesting. I think the Golden Lovers versus Young Bucks is going to fracture it even more. So I think Kenny Omega's time is pretty short.
Yep, so that's
what's happening.
Yeah, so that's what's happening tomorrow night. In Long Beach, California, Strong Style Evolved.
Why would you have it in Long Beach, California? Couldn't you find a safer city?
Well,
I mean, the way that Snoop Dogg talks about Long Beach, I wouldn't want to have a wrestling match there.
It's interesting because
what kind of crowd are you going to have?
And that's going to be interesting. Well, I don't know. I guess it depends.
I know I would be scared. Like if I lived in California, I'd be like, I really want to go see this show, but I don't want to go to Long Beach.
Yeah, and I mean that's going to be the interesting thing. But when they did the G1 special in America last year, I think that's where they did it around that area.
Oh, really?
So maybe that area is just hot with New Japan pro wrestling fans. I don't know. Maybe they've done their research and say this is where we need to go if we want to get the best attendance. Because I mean, if they go, I don't know. Hypothetically, let's say they come to the Midwest or come here to the South. How many people? Obviously, we would go check it out.
Yeah,
and Elijah's back there raising his hand. He'd want to go check it out as well. I know Brink and Cruz.
Yeah,
they would all want to go check it out as well. But them coming to America, I think is still kind of a new thing. So maybe they're just testing the waters to see what's happening there. So
well, the guy who came up with. No, let me move on from that thought. But wrestling is a part of the southern fabric of the United States, man. If they went to Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, New Orleans, these big cities in the South, dude, I think they would draw great crowds, and it'd be a whole lot safer.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, this is the best pure wrestling talent, in-ring talent in the world here. And so they would go anywhere. Even if you don't draw that big of a crowd, people would be highly impressed with, especially people watching it for the first time live. I mean, can you imagine? It would be an absolutely great show. Yeah. So hopefully they, start expanding beyond Long Beach, maybe go to a New York City, go to a Miami.
Oh, New York City, yeah.
New York. Can you imagine New Japan Pro Wrestling in New York City and in Madison Square Garden, dude, that would be an awesome show.
Have them go play I say play. Have them go do an event at the old ECW bingo hall.
What?
I know you couldn't fit many people in there, but
the fans you would fit in there, man, they'd go absolutely crazy.
It would be the most epic fan base that they have ever had here in the States. But I tell you what, here in a few years, when the Los Angeles Rams actually get their multi-billion-dollar stadium in Inglewood, that'd be the place to go, because that's going to be the happening part of California.
Don't be surprised if WrestleMania ends up there probably within the next 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
WrestleMania will end
probably
up
even
there.
sooner than that.
Yeah, I'd say within 5 years of it, once it's built, within 5 years, WrestleMania will be in there, because that's what Vince wants to do with WrestleMania. He wants to put it in these big-time pro football stadiums and basically break records. And speaking of WrestleMania, we're going to hop onto that now and basically go over the match card. There are 11 matches already scheduled for WrestleMania, and that's not including the Daniel Bryan, Shane, Sami, Kevin match that could be a possibility. So let's go ahead and run down the WrestleMania match card thus far. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So far, this is who is in there's only 5 people entered so far. Dash Wilder, Scott Dawson, Baron Corbin, Mojo Rawley, a former winner, also Baron Corbin, a former winner as well, and Ty Dillinger. So you have 2 former winners of the Andre.
That's crap.
Yeah.
I mean, is that pre-show or is that actually going to be the regular show?
I would not be surprised if it was pre-show. Because I think last year when Mojo won, I believe it was the pre-show, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long year. I can't remember. There's some talk, speculation. So Mojo's ready to come back. He may be a surprise entrant in the Battle Royal and win it.
I sure hope so.
And there's going to be more people, obviously, that'll jump in it as well. Maybe some NXT guys, maybe Andrade Cien Almas.
That's what I was just going to say. Pepper with some NXT talent.
Aleister Black, Adam Cole. Adam Cole was in the Royal Rumble.
Dude, did you see Cassius Ohno put the boot to Adam Cole?
I did not.
Oh my God, it was crazy, dude. Like so Adam missed with a
clothesline.
Yeah, with a clothesline. Wrapped himself off the ropes, and then he was like fixing to fly onto Ohno, and Ohno just stuck his foot up and just like crushed him.
Oh yeah, NXT's doing some big things. It's going to be Aleister Black versus Andrade Cien Almas for the NXT Championship at NXT TakeOver New Orleans. That'll be a fun one to watch. But continuing now, so that's the 5 people so far in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. The WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, which originally was the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal. And obviously a lot of backlash from the fans because apparently the Fabulous Moolah, she was a
skank.
Yeah, she was basically a skank and
terrible person.
And they did the right thing. They changed the name to the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Maybe next year give it to, I don't know, name it after. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, this is who they should name it after. I would name it after China. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. I feel like China would. It's a good way to remember China, in my opinion. The China Memorial Women's Battle Royal. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, the only thing that I have about that is, her past after the WWE.
Yeah.
I think that puts a little bit of dirt on her name.
Yeah, I would suppose so. But does it put as much dirt on her name as Fabulous Moolah, you think?
No. But, I mean, obviously China wasn't doing anything to hurt people and to trick them out.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if they're wanting to cultivate a young fan base for the newer generations, then, you got to find somebody that has a little squeakier image.
Yeah, maybe I would a Trish Stratus, something like that. I don't know. What were you saying? Becky Lynch?
But she's still wrestling.
Yeah, she's still, I mean...
This is like somebody that's dead
Becky
that you're
Lynch might be in this match, so...
Maybe Ivory?
No,
I mean,
she's still alive too.
Well, I mean, it's... I don't know. I don't know what they would base the name off of, but...
I would imagine it'd be someone that's gone.
Yeah, because they've
done the Mae Young thing.
Because obviously the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, you couldn't name it Memorial Battle Royal after someone who's still alive. So,
right.
I don't know. But right now, WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, that's obviously this is a topic for another day.
The Luna Vachon.
So... Yeah, so the people who are going to be in that match so far, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Liv Morgan, Naomi, Natalya, Ruby Riott, and Sarah Logan. So
See, that match is so much better than the dudes match.
I know, right?
Oh, my goodness.
But hey, so that's the 2 battle royals there. The mixed tag team match, Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. You have the tournament final for the vacant Cruiserweight Championship. I'm excited about this match. This match has the potential to steal the show, even if it's on the pre-show. Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. Look, I've been praising Mustafa Ali since day one. Since last year, the night after WrestleMania, he fought Neville after Neville won the title, or he retained it against Austin Aries at WrestleMania. They put on an excellent match, and I was like, wow, this dude can go. He's very smooth in the ring, and that was the match. I was so mad. They were, popping the beach ball around in the crowd and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought that was it was terrible. But I'm so glad that Mustafa Ali is going to get the chance on this stage to show what he can do. And Cedric Alexander is another great wrestler as well.
Yeah.
This is really, really...
Now
and Elijah's cheering for Cedric out there. I got to go with Mustafa Ali on this one.
I hope you get what you want, because I know you've had this dude's back since day one of this podcast. But I also know promoters love black champions because they get over quick with the crowd. So I think Cedric's going to win.
I think Cedric's going to win. That does not mean I'm not going to be just standing in my living room on April the 8th, or in Brink's living room for that case, just hollering for Mustafa Ali. Dude, they're going to put on a great match. Look, even if it's on the pre-show, people, you guys need to watch this match. This is going to be an excellent... this is going to be like, the cruiserweights are... the high flying, cool moves, flipping, all the flippy stuff.
Yeah.
That match is going to be that. That's going to be, like I said, the dark horse for the match of the night. In my opinion, it's going to be that. So they have that. The tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. This is an interesting one. Sheamus and Cesaro will defend against Braun Strowman and really a partner of his choosing. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Who will be Braun Strowman's partner? A lot of people think maybe Elias. I'm not sure who else, honestly, who that could be Braun Strowman's partner. Some people on Reddit, I think, or on the internet, wherever, they had the idea of maybe Kurt Hawkins being his tag team partner, but Braun just never tags him in. And that would be, honestly, it doesn't matter who it would be to me. I think you should book this to where Braun gets a tag team partner but never tags him in and just dominates Sheamus and Cesaro and wins the tag team titles basically by himself, even though he technically has a partner standing on the apron there.
Or maybe you bring back Ellsworth for a one-off.
That would be good, because there's a little bit of history there. Obviously, Braun squashing Ellsworth is what kind of got Ellsworth over a little bit.
And he's like, this is, me giving back to you, or something like that. I don't know, but the Elias thing sounds good.
Yeah, I think that would, because obviously they've been feuding a little bit, and that would be kind of cool there. So that's going to be very interesting to see who Braun picks as his partner and how they book that match.
Yeah,
because especially if it's Elias, they've been feuding. How are they going to book that match? That'll be interesting, and obviously we'll talk more about that in the weeks to come. The WWE SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus the Women's Royal Rumble winner, Asuka.
Wow.
That, if there was ever, and a lot of people have been saying this, including me, if there's ever been a women's match to main event WrestleMania, it's that match right there. That's going to be an awesome match. That right there has the potential to be not only the best women's match of the night, which it probably will be, but women's match of the year.
Yeah.
Charlotte and Asuka. And a lot of people are talking about Asuka winning that match and basically holding onto that belt for the next year, and she's going to defend it against Ronda next year at WrestleMania 35, which, by the way, is going to be in East Rutherford, New Jersey at MetLife Stadium. They did announce that last week, I think. So a little bit of news there. The other women's title, the Raw women's title, will be on the line. Alexa Bliss defending against Nia Jax. Obviously, big storyline there. They were best friends. Alexa Bliss kind of insulted Nia, used her and stuff. Now Nia's just out to absolutely crush Alexa Bliss, and I think that's what's going to happen at WrestleMania. You have the United States triple threat match. This one right here, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this match. Randy Orton, the champion, defending against Bobby Roode and Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal, first of all, should not be on a WrestleMania card. His butt should be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where, excuse me, Jinder Mahal should be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, where his butt should be the first one over it. Because, I'm sorry, dude, you can't wrestle, okay? And I'm afraid of what this match. This could be the worst match of the night, in my opinion.
I think the WWE is thinking the same thing that Brink thinks. And the same thing that Matt Zion from Reckless Eating thought about Jinder being a decent heel.
His character. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no. And I think that's going to keep him around longer than he should be around because they're in such a need of real heels. Obviously, you have some tweeners, a lot of tweeners on the roster that can go both ways. And mostly, if they are more heelish, people are cheering them anyway. But Jinder Mahal, he's going to stick around a little too long because of their need for an absolute 100% heel.
Yeah, because
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, because like I was saying, his character, the perfect heel, the absolute perfect heel. He's just a garbage wrestler.
Yeah,
he's not. If he was, let's basically put it this way: on a scale of 1 to 10, I give his wrestling a 2. Mm-hmm. If he was a 5, he'd be okay. If he was an average wrestler,
he'd be a 5. He'd be a John Cena.
Well, Elijah's giving him a 1 out of 10 there, and I don't disagree with that. I'm being kind with the 2 just because of the fact that his character really is a tremendous heel character. But
yeah, he's decent on the mic,
and he's decent on the mic too. I'll give him that. But as a wrestler, absolute trash. Like take it out to the back, throw it in the dumpster.
He should be wrestling in an indie match in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, so that match, I hope that match is going to be good because the U.S. title. Hopefully Bobby Roode, it'll be a glorious day.
Why is Randy Orton still in championship pictures?
I mean, because, I don't know. The thing about Randy Orton, I don't know how to explain.
This guy's so stale.
And, yeah, I know, he is getting stale for me. He's getting as stale. I wouldn't even say he's getting as stale as John Cena because, in my opinion, John Cena is not stale. A lot of people may
John
think
Cena can still light it up.
But Randy Orton, and he's a good. I'll give Randy Orton. He's a good wrestler and all that stuff. But when it was Randy Orton versus Jinder, it wasn't doing nothing for me for that title feud they had last year. Randy Orton just doesn't do it for me anymore. It has to be a certain, certain feuds that Randy Orton has to be in. Obviously, Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode in a singles match. I think that would be. Honestly, a very, very good match. And then you add Jinder to the equation. I don't know. I hope this match can be good at WrestleMania. I don't have high hopes for it, if anything. And I would hate to see the U.S. Championship be on the pre-show, but I would not be surprised if that match ended up on the pre-show. But it's going to get buried with all these other matches they have.
No, there's no way they're putting Randy Orton on a pre-show. The way they love that dude.
Yeah, they do love him some Randy Orton. Like I said, I like Randy Orton too. I have nothing against the guy, but the way they're booking him is just, he hasn't really evolved, I guess you could say. And that's kind of the thing they have with Roman. Everybody talks about Roman. There's no development of his character really with, obviously, in my opinion, I think his character's been developing with that Lesnar storyline. Yeah. In my opinion, as far as the best build-up to a match so far, I'm thinking Lesnar and Reigns so far might have the best build-up, and thank God because we've been talking about it, that the build-up to their match at WrestleMania 31 was absolute trash, while the match was actually not that bad, with obviously Rollins coming in to cash and winning the title, but the build-up this time around, holy moly, it has been absolutely wonderful. I've been loving it. I've loved every minute of it. The Reigns promo when he came out, the Reigns promo again, Reigns getting suspended, and then showing up anyway, and then Lesnar coming out, ironically, when Reigns got handcuffed, sending him to Suplex City, beating the hell out of him with the chair. The build-up has been absolutely perfect for this match thus far. Unfortunately, we all know Roman's going to win. I'm saying unfortunately because I would like to see Roman win and go on, and there's going to possibly be a feud with Samoa Joe in the future, and obviously we're going to see the Universal title more on Raw every week. Yeah. But I'm saying I lost my train of thought here for a second. But I'm saying, unfortunately, we know Roman's going to win because you'd like to think that it could go either way. But we all know Lesnar's more than likely going to leave, go to UFC and stuff like that. So that right there is my reason why this match should not be last. AJ Styles, Nakamura. So that match also, the Universal title on the line, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. Also, before we get into what I think should be the main event, the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title, The Miz, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins, another match, possible dark horse match for match of the night. That should be really, really good. I'm hoping Finn can win it. That's just my opinion. Or Seth. Would not be surprised if Miz retained it and held on to it going all the way until SummerSlam, where somebody brought up the idea of Daniel Bryan versus The Miz at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental title. I'm all for that because right now, if my fantasy booking, I would throw Daniel Bryan in that match and make it a fatal four-way. But I want to see Daniel Bryan and The Miz one-on-one because you don't even need to build that match. That match has built itself over the past 7 years, going back to when Miz and Daniel Bryan in the original, it was the Nexus, or back when they had the NXT, or it was the original NXT, I think, or something like that. And when they had that first season, Daniel Bryan was the Miz's rookie, so that just goes back a long way right there.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the main event, in my opinion, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, a match where we don't know who's going to win that match. I could see Shinsuke winning that match. I could see AJ retaining. As of right now, I would pick AJ to retain.
That's what I was fixing
to say.
But
I would not be surprised if Nakamura wins the title from AJ, because then if Nakamura wins the title from AJ, we get the rematch at the next pay-per-view, which I think is Backlash, maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would be Backlash, I think, something like that. So, what do you think about this? Obviously, this is going to be one of the most look forward to matches all year long, AJ and Nakamura.
I was watching something. They were showing something on the WWE Network the other day of I guess that ride-along show that they do, and it was the Balor Club riding in the car, and they had the cardboard cutout of AJ in there with him. It was so funny. I'd love to see all them guys get back together, bring up Adam Cole. Let's get a club. But yeah, I don't think Nakamura takes AJ right now because, talking about over, AJ is the face that built the place.
The face that runs the place.
Plus, he runs the face.
It's the house that AJ Styles, SmackDown Live is the house that AJ Styles built, and I agree with him.
Yeah. So I think AJ retains. But man, what a great match that's going to be. Yeah. And like you said, you got 3 matches on this card that could be main event quality in any pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you
got Styles and Nakamura. Charlotte Flair, Asuka could be a main event. Also, Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey, Triple H, and Stephanie. I don't know. We've seen Kurt Angle wrestle a couple of times. Obviously, Triple H is still probably the best almost 50-year-old wrestler on the planet right now.
Yeah.
Stephanie, whatever. And then Ronda, I'm interested to see what Ronda does because this will be her first live match. And, man, talk about what a stage that's going to be on at WrestleMania there. So that's the WrestleMania card. Thus far, the official card. Obviously, we still think maybe at least one more match will be added to this card. Mm-hmm. Also, Braun Strowman needs to find an opponent as well. And there's still going to be some participants in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal as well. So with that being said, let's jump now to WrestleMania weekend. We're going to go 2 nights before WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame. Excuse me. Mark Henry is the last inductee into the Hall of Fame. So from the Hall of Pain to the Hall of Fame, Mark Henry from Silsbee, Texas, down the road from us over there in Texas. He's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I was listening to him on Busted Open on Sirius XM Radio, and he was telling stories about how growing up, his grandma, who was also a wrestling fan, his mother was not a wrestling fan, his grandma, they'd take a Greyhound bus down to Beaumont right there and watch some wrestling shows and, take the late bus back and stuff like that. And I remember a guy called in and he actually name-dropped Lake Charles, said something about, we used to go to Beaumont and watch you, and then, of course, we moved to Lake Charles. We'd go watch you at the Lake Charles Civic Center and stuff like that. I've seen WWE shows at the Lake Charles Civic Center a couple of times now, so it was good stuff there. I was just happy that Lake Charles got name dropped on Sirius XM Radio. But Mark Henry's getting inducted along with we mentioned him earlier, Goldberg, the Dudleys, Ivory.
Ivory? Come on.
Yeah. And then I know I'm missing.
Is that reaching to you?
What,
Ivory?
You know what? Now that I think about it, in a way, it kind of is.
Yeah.
A little bit, not too much. I don't think it's reaching too much. I think Ivory was a vital part of the Attitude Era, obviously, with the women. She was in the right to censor. She had her own little, Ivory thing and stuff like that. So I think it's a little bit of a reach, maybe not as much of a reach as you might think it is.
Like if she was a dude wrestler, there's no way she's getting in.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's hard for me to at least to, like, if she was a guy wrestler, like, I don't know. I can't. I just couldn't.
Val Venus, is he ever going to get in? He had some belts.
Honestly, I don't think so.
Exactly.
He should. In my opinion, he should be in the Hall of Fame, though.
Yeah.
Val Venus, he was another. I mean, let's put it this way: if the Godfather's in, I think Val Venus should be in. Although I think the Godfather was a little bit better than Val Venus, but Val Venus, he was a very popular character. In my opinion, at least with the ladies, he was a very popular character in the Attitude Era, and I always enjoyed watching Val Venus. He had some great work in WWE.
Right.
Also, another note in the WWE Hall of Fame: Edge and Christian will be inducting the Dudley Boyz into the Hall of Fame.
3D.
So, and also they might get the Hardy Boys up there as well. So that's going to be a great reunion. Those 6 guys, according to Bubba Ray on Busted Open, they haven't been in the same place probably in about 15 years. So that's going to be really awesome to see Edge and Christian, the Dudleys, and the Hardy Boys together again at the Hall of Fame, because they put on one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history, in my opinion, with TLC 2 in the Houston Astrodome at WrestleMania 17.
Houston Astrodome, shout out.
One of the greatest spots, maybe in the history of not just WrestleMania, but in the history of pro wrestling, when Edge speared Jeff Hardy, and Hardy was hanging onto the belts, and Edge got on top of the ladder and jumped off and speared Hardy, what was probably a good 15 feet from in the air onto the ground. If you've never seen that spot, then first of all, I don't even think you're a wrestling fan. That's one of the greatest wrestling spots in the history of wrestling, in my opinion. So Edge and Christian inducting the Dudley Boys, that's going to be really awesome to watch. That's one reason why I really want to watch the Hall of Fame ceremony that Friday night.
And one of the cool things I heard about Mark Henry was that the contract that WWE gave him when he just came out of powerlifting was unprecedented. They gave him like a 10-year contract. Mm-hmm. And usually their contracts are 3 years, 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
10-year contracts were unheard of, and he was making $1 million a year out of the gate. So they wanted this dude so bad.
Oh, yeah.
So, man, Mark Henry, big ups, bro, doing it for Southeast Texas. Mm-hmm. And you got some love over here from Southwest Louisiana, brother.
Absolutely. And then I remember them saying, I think one of the first times, I don't know if it was either Vince or one of the WWE scouts, they see this big old dude. He was dunking basketballs. Like, the dude got ups. Yeah. He was a very athletic big dude. So they saw him. They were very impressed with him, obviously. 10-year contract. They wanted him, and they got him, and they got him for a long time. So congrats to Mark Henry. Well-deserved Hall of Fame representing Southeast Texas. Like Most you said, definitely. Some love here from Southwest Louisiana. All right, next thing we're going to talk about was the main event of Raw, the Ultimate Deletion match, which you watched, I watched. Yep. And a lot of mixed feelings from the wrestling community. I enjoyed it because, in my opinion, it was better than I expected it to be. Was it this tremendous, excellent, awesome? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a 7. It wasn't a 10. It wasn't a 5-star match by any means, but the creativity, the originality, the fact that Brother Nero made an appearance, because I knew, because I said, okay, they were building it as the main event. It was the last match, which means, in my opinion, it's WrestleMania season, the last match. Something big is going to happen. And I say big, like, to me, Jeff Hardy coming back is big. And that's exactly what happened. He made a quick cameo appearance. Matt won the match. Ultimately deleted Bray Wyatt, which now I think they're going to repackage Bray Wyatt. I don't know how, but they're going to do that, I think, at some point, whether it be before or after WrestleMania. But I liked the match. I think it was very creative. I think it was well put together. We got Rebby Hardy, we got Matt's kids, we got Vanguard 1, we got Senor Benjamin. We got every little thing we could have ever wanted in the Broken Matt universe at the Hardy compound, including Brother Nero. So I liked it. I thought it was a good match. I'm hoping that now they can build off of that for Broken Matt, who now officially has that name trademarked, by the way. And Brother Nero going forward, I'd just love to see what they're going to do with that going forward with Broken Matt and Brother Nero, obviously. What do you think of the match?
Yeah, I'll give it a strong 4. Ooh. And that's purely on production value. I did enjoy the production value of it, but Matt Hardy is so slow these days. I mean, granted, I know he's wrestling old. Mm-hmm. He's been doing it a long time. Yeah, he never was a Jeff Hardy, right?
No, but not until we got the broken gimmick.
But everything is so slow, and I was just like, I was cringing when I was watching the match, you know. Mm-hmm. But I do love the broken character. I love the production value of it all. I just don't understand. So you're going to repackage Bray Wyatt, but you never found him in the lake, and he never came up, so you should have drowned to death.
I don't know how they're going to book that, but because, I mean, obviously, you know, people have been buried alive. People have been thrown into, you know, bodies of water before, and they came out. So maybe he swam away, and I don't know. So that'll be interesting going forward. But so you give it a 4 out of 10. I gave it a 7 out of 10 because, like I said, I gave it a 7 out of 10 strictly for the fact that it was better than I thought it would be. Because obviously, when they had the House of Horrors match with Bray Wyatt and Rand, that was bad.
And you know what? I think that match, as in the physicalness of that match, was way better than the broken Matt Hardy match.
The thing I like, though, at the Hardy compound, they actually had a ring. They had 2 of them. They had one outside and then one inside. So they actually got in the ring and wrestled a little bit. So that's another thing I liked about it as well. Yeah. But the Brother Nero thing, if Brother Nero wouldn't have shown up, I might have gave it a 5. Because I just had a feeling Brother Nero was going to show up because it was last in the show. Yeah. And they were just kind of setting up. Plus, it's time for him to come back anyway. He's cleared to come back and everything. So the Ultimate Deletion match, obviously, the main event of Monday Night Raw. Now, our final thing, we're going to jump into the rumor mill here. Mm-hmm. You wanted to talk about this. Go ahead. And
Pro Wrestling Sheet saying that WWE is working on a contract with none other than WWE. Or I guess we should call him, well, he came back with him was WWE, right?
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Dadgum Hulk Hogan.
I know, man. Hulk Hogan, the Hulkster, could be back. Not
what you gonna do, brother?
It's a rumor right now. Apparently, they're talking to Hogan. I don't know how they're gonna bring him back. I don't know when they're gonna bring him back.
This could be could be bad because I was talking to you a while back about one of my favorite YouTubers, Joe Guerrero, which we're trying to get you on the show, brother. Answer my messages, please. But anyways, he took a trip down to Clearwater, Florida. Mm-hmm. Him and his fiance. And apparently there's this Hulk Hogan shop over there where it's a bunch of Hulk memorabilia. Well, Hulk came through, and he did not look like he was in Hulk shape. He looked just like a big old man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just got a text message from my lady, and
nice.
It's
lady.
It's not a very nice text message. I mean, it's not. She wasn't being rude towards me. Something I think she got into a little wreck. So
but dadgum I-10.
But no, this was in Texas. So, some guy backed into her or something like that. So I don't know. We're about to wrap it up here. We have to figure some stuff out because she's supposed to come over tonight from Texas. But we're talking about Hulk Hogan.
He looked pretty flabby, bro.
Yeah, and there was a time where he thought he can get back into the ring and wrestle, but I mean,
he's going to have to come out like when Scott Steiner did like his return to Impact and just wear like a jacket or something. Remember when Goldberg first came back and he wore the jacket all the time?
Yeah.
And I don't want to start any rumors, but I don't know if that dude shot up with anything. But all of a sudden, he went from wearing a jacket to you could tell he wasn't the old Goldberg to, wow, he's kind of the old Goldberg. Like Goldberg. Maybe they get Hulk some human growth hormone.
I don't know. I mean, that would be so contradictory of them to do that, though, because they're obviously big on they suspended Roman one time for that.
Yeah, but you bring back the Hulkster, right? And you're looking to get some kind of rub off of it, and he comes back looking like a flabby old man. Everybody's gonna be like once his music hits, everybody's gonna be like, yeah. And then when he comes through, what? Who is that?
But I mean, people got to understand that Father Time is undefeated, and when you get old,
yeah, I know, but we're not talking about the Iron Sheik here.
We're talking about Hulk Hogan, and I don't know in what shape or form they're going to bring him back, if they even do bring him back. But I think they're trying to bring him back, obviously, with his whole
because even with
the comments he made a few years ago, and
even when he was with TNA, he was in great shape.
Mm-hmm. So I would like to see the Hulkster back. But it's going to get to a point where what can you do with him? I mean, he can't wrestle. He's basically there as an attraction now.
Maybe he takes over Daniel Bryan's spot as GM on SmackDown.
That's actually not a bad idea. I actually somewhat like that idea, but of course, will he want to have that kind of schedule? Because
yeah, you're right.
So I don't know, but right now they're in talks apparently to have the Hulkster back. In what shape or form, we don't know yet. What are the chances he shows up at WrestleMania, you think?
Man, I think if you're working on a contract, you got to get that done before WrestleMania.
I think right now there's about 20% chance we see Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania.
I mean, it's your biggest show of the year.
Yeah, and obviously Hulk Hogan was at the first WrestleMania. He hosted WrestleMania 30. He is, I mean... Hell, he has his own nickname based on WrestleMania with Hulkamania. So I'd be okay. I'd mark out. This is MarkOutMania. I'd mark out if I'd see Hogan at WrestleMania, but I think it's a very low chance right now. Mm-hmm. I think maybe, like I said, because right now I don't know where they are with the negotiations, if they're even anywhere. They're making progress. I don't know. But I'd be happy to see Hulkster back. But at a certain point, it's like, okay, what... What can you do with him?
Yeah, he would just have to be a mouthpiece.
Exactly. But I like the GM idea.
A little, what you going to do, brothers? And a little, we're not going to let that stand, brother, and stuff like that.
I like the GM idea, but my only question is, can he, have that kind of schedule where he has to be there every single week or at least every other week throughout the year? So that's the only concern I would have with that particular, the way they book him like that.
Yeah, I mean... He may need the money.
He probably does. I mean, maybe. I don't know. He is Hulk Hogan. I don't know what his financial situation is.
I'm pretty sure Nick is still sieving off of him. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure that guy doesn't have his life together. And I'm pretty sure Brooke wants to put out a few new albums. Ain't nobody paying for that but Hulk.
Well, I'm sure she can make some money on her Instagram page. I follow her on Instagram. And
how would you make money off of an Instagram page?
You'd be surprised.
Yeah?
People make money off of Instagram pages.
And then we need to get an Instagram.
I got an Instagram. I just don't have that many. I don't have enough followers to really get some kind of like sponsor. Because people will like sponsor people on Instagram. And people will, as I've seen, it might have been Lana or it might have been one of the WWE women. They were pimping out some kind of product or something. I'm like, there's no way they did that for free. So
yeah, you're right.
Certain, and Lana has, I think, probably at least over 1 million Instagram followers.
She does.
When you have, I'm one of them. So when you have that many Instagram followers, people will probably pay you to flaunt their products on their Instagram. So Brooke Hogan could do that because I know a lot of guys that follow her, including myself.
We can get like a whole bunch of fake followers. I don't know how you do that.
That's too much work.
But like, I'm pretty sure somebody on Fiverr does it. Mm-hmm. Get you a bunch of fake followers.
Yeah, well,
and we'll start selling stuff.
Yeah, well, who knows? But all right, you got anything else for this rumor mill with Hulk Hogan or?
No, man. And to be honest, I'm kind of with you. I would mark out at first, but it would have to be very well done to keep my interest.
Oh yeah. Because like I said, you're very limited at what you can do with Hulk Hogan physically. Mm-hmm. So that's that.
Yeah, and then obviously he's great on the mic. That's what got him to where he was.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, his looks too. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was a big dude, muscular.
24-inch pythons, man.
Yeah, golden blonde hair. Mm-hmm. He was everything Vince wanted. But I don't know. I enjoyed him in Impact. I thought they did a good job.
I've always enjoyed the Hulkster. But
Maybe he'll bring Brooke as his assistant.
I like that
you get
idea.
to look at her a few times a week.
I like that idea. Well, with that being said, I think that's all we have here for Mark Out Mania, not WrestleMania. Unfortunately, we are not WrestleMania. We're just Mark Out Mania episode 20.
Close, though.
Don't forget, 1 week from today, we're going to have Ryan K. Bowman on from GorillaPosition.com and also the writer for the Miami Herald. It's going to be fun to have him in next week, talking to him over Skype. And then, of course, the week after that, it's going to be our WrestleMania preview show where we're going to have the WrestleMania cards. And hopefully Cruz got that new belt because I think the winner of the WrestleMania card should get that new belt. And hopefully he can bring it for the show in 2 weeks because we could take a picture of it and flaunt it on social media and whatnot. So with that being said, Ryan, go ahead and take us home, man.
Yeah, next week, remember, you can see us on the live stream exclusively on our Patreon page for the $5 a month support level. And you can listen to us live and uncut every single week on our Discord server. That's only $1 a month. Of course, if you want to do more to help support the show, that's always welcome, but $1 a month will get you into that Discord server, and it's pretty crazy. Plus, we do record all the back-end shenanigans that you don't hear, and we have a live, uncut, uncensored version that we post on our Patreon page every single week, and that's on the $5 a month plan. You'll see them $1, $3, $5, $10, and then the Great Muda 1.0 scale of $50 a month, which is a great deal because you actually receive something from our store every month, as well as every month you got the possibility of being on the show as a co-host and a whole lot more perks. So MarkOutMania.com. Check us out on Patreon. With that said, Patrick,
outro.
You've been listening to the Mark Out Mania podcast, a Lake Area Media, LLC production. The views and opinions expressed in this show are those of Ryan Keith and Patrick Fry and are not affiliated with any wrestling promotion or company. Follow Mark Out Mania on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. For all Mark Out Mania links, news, and free podcasts, visit MarkOutMania.com. You've been marked.